Hey everyone, we're just getting set up here. Give me just a moment and we will get going. Okay, we are going to do some work today with the butterfly hybrid folder, and specifically not so much the folder, but one of the dies that are in it. But we'll just wait a minute. It takes a little bit of time for everybody to get in their news feed and to be able to join in. So we have had a really pretty day. It's not been too bad outside. Not too bad anyway. All right. Okay, that should be getting there, some people. So here we go. So I'm Lola Rist with LolaRist.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And we are going to do a little bit of crafting today using the stamp set Beautiful Butterflies and the dies that coordinate with it. Now, you know, I'm pretty good about getting my stamps organized and looking pretty good, but I'm pathetic at getting all my dies in place. So I'm almost embarrassed to show you. I'm so bad about this. Some people put them on magnet sheets, and I had magnet sheets, but I had so many magnet sheets, it was ridiculous. And so I just kind of keep them in here, and if they're in the big folder, then I put them right back in. And if they're in the little folder, then they will slide right into the stamp set. So these are the stamps that we have that comes with it, and the dies. And specifically, we're looking at this one. This is one that sometimes, how many of you have actually picked up a stamp set or a package of dies and you don't know what everything goes? You don't know what everything does, okay? This is one of those pieces that a lot of people may not realize what it will do, but it actually cuts a card out in the shape of a butterfly. And it's learning how to use things. It's the same thing with the stamps. I was piddling with this week because this weekend I was doing a pop-up card class. Pop-up classes to me are ones that I can, when I have time that I didn't expect to have, that I can go and I can throw together and then roll it out there. And I don't do it as a night where we get together and stamp. Everybody has to stamp on their own. I provide the tutorial with colored photos. And they're usually a product-based class where you get a package of paper and sequins and ribbons or something. And I try to tell you what I'm going to use, but you're not having to use the same things that I use. In this instance, excuse me, in this instance, we are, because we are doing the Beautiful Butterflies, and very few people, I have a few of these that were available from Celebration. We're going to get those free. And so I rolled out cards that were using the Beautiful Butterflies, and then I used the hybrid folder as the product base. Now, if you've not done a hybrid folders are really interesting because they allow you to emboss and die cut at the very same time. So it's a real neat effect that you can get. So specifically, I was working my way through these, and the people that signed up for this class, they have a free package of DSP, a full package, that is, a full package of sequins that coordinate, and a full spool of ribbon that coordinates. Select group, I only had a certain number, and I have like 2 kits left. Receive the free stamp set that is still available. And the only thing we bought was the Beautiful Butterfly dies and the hybrid folder that goes with it. So it was a good way to get everything together and to experience the whole thing. All right. So specifically, we're going to work with this one, and we're going to make this card, and let me find it here. Here it is. We're going to make this card here that will actually create the butterfly card. Okay? So we're going to start off with a piece of gorgeous grape cardstock, like so. And it is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I'm going to step down to 5 3/8 and 4 1/8 and do a mat of basic white. Right off to the side. Okay. And then we're going to take, and I went with the lilac. I was wanting to do something different. I had been doing a lot of pinks this weekend, and I was trying to do something different. So I pulled the lilac paper that's still available. Lovely lavender, not lilac, lovely lavender. And I'm going to use this one here and put on the back. We'll go on ahead and put that in here. And there's that much, okay? We're gonna set this off to the side because it's a great start on the card already. Okay, now we're gonna take a piece of basic white that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I could have cut it down a little bit. It's just easiest for me to just go on ahead and do it the way I'm used to. And since I got here without any bone folder, I'm gonna go on ahead and use this block. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that die that I had, and now of course here it is. This die, if you look at it, it has cut pieces that will actually cut all the way through the paper, and it will cut through the double layers of paper. But then there are 2 little spots, one here and one here, that are not deep. They're not as, they're not gonna cut through. They're gonna score, only score. And I want those score lines to go right on the fold. And if you look, you can see that there is actually a mark to show you where that score line is. I'm just going to see for a second and wait until it pops up here on mine. All right. You can see where it actually is built into the die, where it shows you where that needs to be. And I'm going to mark it like so. Now, normally I am not one to worry about washi tape, but I know that some people like washi tape, and because I do want it to be exact, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna pull my Big Shot over here, my plate. And I'm gonna lay it on here. And I'm gonna put it so that the fold goes directly underneath those 2 lines. And I'm gonna go on ahead and tear a couple of pieces of washi tape. Like so. All right. And I am gonna keep it to the outside. I don't like to put washi tape in the middle because actually, even though washi tape comes off, it sometimes will tear. And I didn't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna keep it to the outside of the die, like so. All right, and we have this. Let's push this one up here just a hair. Okay. So we're gonna take our Big Shot. Give me a moment. Or in the Stampin' Up! World, the stamp cut and emboss machine. I'm gonna make my sandwich with my big board and then my thin board. I'm gonna lay an acrylic one here, and I'm gonna turn around and put this one on top. So it was time for new. Did you notice this is a brand new one? I do not replace both of mine at one time. I replace one plate. When my bottom plate has gotten pretty cruddy with little paper fibers and things cut into it and it's curving, that one will eventually go in the trash. This one was the top layer, and so now it becomes the bottom layer. It just kind of helps to stretch it out just a little bit. So I'm not every month doing brand new plates. Okay. Make sure it cut through, which it did, so we should be good. We'll run this over to the side. And there we have it, okay? So I'm gonna pull the washi tape off. Now, the only thing is I have this and I want to get going. I want this gone. So I'm going to kind of poke this through. And then I want to kind of trim to make sure that there's no raw edge showing there that needs to be gone. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on this end. And I think I've got just a little bit of a nick here. We're going to get rid of those. Okay. So let's get rid of our little strips of trash. Put those over to the side. And let's go on ahead and work on this before we put it together. I'm gonna go on ahead, and I went to the stamp and I pulled it out. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when, like I said earlier, sometimes you get a stamp that you're not sure what it was. I have to admit that I was thinking that that was gonna color this in. It has nothing to do with it. It actually, these two pieces fit on this butterfly. So I'm going to pull those off. One is more angled to the right and one is more angled to the left. So we'll get those two out. Okay. Then we're also going to take this little doodad of nothing but dots. I always love these. These are some of my best favorite pieces, the little fillers. And then I'm going to take the happy birthday. Now, I used the happy birthday for a different stamp and for a different card, I don't know, probably several months ago. And I am bad. I will do surgery on my stamps. I don't have a problem cutting my stamps apart. Some people do. I don't. Because usually they just go right back together. And you'll never know that they were cut apart. Okay? All right, so we're gonna start with Gorgeous Grape. And I want to make sure that I have a really vibrant one. So I want to make sure I'm good and inked. So I'm just gonna go on ahead and take a moment to put some ink on here. I am probably the worst also, not only at keeping her dies, I'm putting them back in their place, but also re-inking. Okay, let me find a spoon if I can. Well, I had a whole bunch of plastic. Let's just use this. We'll just use a plastic knife. And we're just gonna spread the ink. Just gonna put some pressure on it to make sure that that ink is spread out. Okay, and of course now we pitch this. Okay, so let's go on ahead and do our stamping. And if we stamp like this, you will see that that one fits the best that way, and this one over here. So I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna ink it up. Again, I'm using Gorgeous Grape. Make sure that I've got a good, absolutely perfect. And I'm gonna stamp it and leave an edge. And then I'm gonna go up here and stamp it on the opposite side this way. Okay. And we'll get the other one up there. Good. All right, so we're gonna close this down for now. We're gonna go with Pretty Peacock. I love Pretty Peacock. It's probably one of my favorite color combos. And I love when I can get these little background stamps that are nothing but filler, because I can just make so much texture, and all I do is I just stamp over and over and over in one spot. I don't try to stamp once, twice, and stamp again. I want filler. I want it to fill it up. So you're gonna watch me just tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. I'm also coming in between, and I'm stamping in between where we put those stamps so that the wings are filled in completely. Barely moving it, just staying in basically one area and just shifting over just a hair. I'm gonna go all the way to the body, filling in. In case there's a section not visible or not completely covered when we put the other section on here, I'm gonna do some of the back of the body, and I'm just gonna keep turning and filling in. Some people are like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 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 no. Just tap, 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 tap. You want all the different variations of the color, where it's first generation, second generation stamping, lighter and then darker, and you want the whole variety because that's what gives you that background. And just in case, we're gonna do this too. All right, just about done. Okay, so we stop with that. Now, when I went to the lavender paper, I was specifically looking for something that had a pattern, but just an overall general pattern. In this one, I actually went with one that's got diagonal diamond shapes on it. And I wanted something that had just color, but when I cut it through with all these little holes, it's not gonna show. You're not gonna have any clue what it was. So specifically, this piece is actually a big piece of the lavender paper in a field. Okay, if you want to know which one it is, it's the one that's got the crumb cake on the back with the little white marks on it. There's nothing else to it. I wanted something that just was going to give me a variety of shades of both the Pretty Peacock and the Gorgeous Grape. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna put it on here, and I'm gonna do it with glue. We're actually gonna glue. You don't see me glue very often. I prefer my snail. Some people use glue all the time. That is not my thing. I only use it occasionally. Okay. All right. Now I needed a body because I want a body, and I could have done a body that was black, but I decided I was going to go with Lost Lagoon. Lost Lagoon to me and Pretty Peacock are a really wonderful combination. So all I did was do the same piece. I took the very same piece that we had here, but this time I didn't double it. I just used a single piece of Lost Lagoon, and I just laid it enough that I was going to be able to get the body, and that was it. So I'm just going to kind of take my paper snips and just kind of shape a body. Just like so. I got a funky thing going on here. Okay. All right, so there it is, my Lost Lagoon. I'm gonna take a sponge dauber. I wanna get some texture to this. I don't want just a piece of cardstock laying there. So I'm just gonna dab it into my Pretty Peacock and add texture. So I'm gonna basically lose a lot of my Lost Lagoon. It's there, but it's not as visible as it was because I'm gonna tone it down with the sponge dauber. Okay. All right, and it's gonna sit right on top of this, like so. So let's go on ahead and let's put some glue on it. Some people only use glue. I like my tape runner too much. Okay. Hey, Mary, thanks to hear that. It's nice to hear that you thought that. I'm glad I could give you a tip. So we're gonna take this and we're just gonna lay it on here. And as long as I don't press too hard, I have a little bit of movement with this, and I want it to go directly on top of the body there. And there's my butterfly. And that little butterfly is gonna go on here, and isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna go on ahead and adhere with my tape, just like so. I want to have good tape coverage. I want it to stay in place, so I'm just going to come on up here, get my adhesive in, and come down a little ways on that tail. I still want some more up here, I want it to be nice and tight. Okay. And I am going to line it up so that it lines up with the top of the purple, not the white mat on the back, not the base, not the white mat. I want it to line up with the DSP on the front, right at the line up here. And I'm going to try and center it. and press in place. Okay? And now I can go on ahead and write on the inside of my card, and I've got the butterfly. I love purple. I love Lost Lagoon. I love Pretty Peacock. They're like my favorite colors. So, all right, we're going to take one of the dies that is in the labels, that's in the set, and I'm going to take that one that I had done surgery on, remember? And I'm just going to stamp it on here. I feel like I got a little ink on that end. Let's get that off. There's a little bit of ink right there, like felt maybe. We're going to go on ahead and put that right here in the middle. It will not show where I had cut it apart. There it is. And we're going to take it and put some dimensionals on the back of this. 3 so that I have one in the middle and one on either end. I'm going to cut right across here. Looks like it's a little high, but I may not be able to get it apart. Yeah, I can. Better. I can live with that. And we're going to take some of the faceted gems, the flat ones that came with the actual lavender paper, and embellish on either end. And a couple more. And our card is done, guys. That's how fast this was. Just like so. And there's my card. I love this. I think that butterfly is a fun one to work with. But a lot of times, like I said, we don't know how to use them because we don't sit and figure it out. So again, the butterfly cards that I did, these are the ones all using the hybrid butterfly folder and the butterfly, beautiful butterflies. They are gorgeous. These are gorgeous cards. They get, the people that sign up for this pop-up class receive a free package of DSP. They receive a free package of sequins, and they receive a full package of the coordinating ribbons. Those were all from Celebration last year. I have 2 kits that are still available that have the free stamp set called Butterfly, Beautiful Butterflies. The only thing that we are buying is the hybrid folder, which gets you the dies and the embossing folder. And it seems like a lot. It's a $50. This is a $42 outfit. This whole combination, this and the embossing folder. So your shipping and everything, it's still more than that. But I'm just charging $50, and you're going to get the 7 cards. You're going to get everything else. It's a perfect way to go about and play with some butterflies, especially at this time of the year. Okay, one other thing. If you have not signed up for Speed Bingo, Speed Bingo is ending the sign up this week. It is Wednesday is our last day for online Speed Bingo. And Speed Bingo is super, super easy. You will get a $20 package of value of a goodie bag. This time we're doing flip-flaps. And if you haven't used flip-flaps before, we're going to show you how to use flip-flaps in your cards. So you will actually get a card class with it, with flip-flaps. The cost is $25. It's $30 if we have to ship it to you, $5 for the shipping. You get your card kits, you get the tutorial, and you get 5 chances to play Speed Bingo and earn a $15 gift card from me. So a flip-flap, here's a flip-flap. It flips up. It's a little plastic sleeve that you actually insert paper into, and you can decorate it. And there are so many fun things that we're going to do with this. So if you've not signed up, think about it, because we have room and you have time until Wednesday. Wednesday's the last day. All right, guys, that's my card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be posting this for those of you who want to come back and watch it again. Think about the flip-flaps and the speed bingo. I have spots for two. Yes, just two. Only spots for 2 people for beautiful butterflies and all of that class, which is huge. All right, take care. God bless. And by the way, I will not see you next week. Next week at this time, we will be in Branson, Missouri with our granddaughters and our daughter. She's coming down and going to work from the condo, and Papa Jim and I, pool boy, and I get to entertain the 7-year-old and the 10-year-old, and we have lots of things planned. So we will be gone next week, but I will be back on the 28th, which is actually the day of Speed Bingo. All right, take care. God bless. Bye-bye.